June 27th. You made it, yay! Grab a coffee or something cooler to drink and let's get smarter together. As explained yesterday, it is the desire of every particle to find its state of lowest energy that still keeps it at an equilibrium with its surroundings that drives the particle's need to generate one complete and true model of a physical universe. It also drives the need to cooperate. The reason here is not that the single particle doesn't have a processing power to generate such a model alone. This is part of the information the particles lack starting out. The reason is that the task is twofold. Get to the state of lowest energy, yes, and get into an equilibrium with your surroundings. By nature, creating an equilibrium requires putting at least two particles in relation to balance them. As every one of the two particles, again, has other neighbors, with other neighbors, with other neighbors, and so on in the physical universe, they all desire to be in equilibrium with as well. Every particle inevitably ends up working with all the others. Right? Yes, but that's the result. It all starts with tiny patterns at many places. Why? Because task number 1. Reach lowest state of energy possible. Because since energy doesn't get lost, reaching a certain energy state different to what is requires energy flow. Because the assembly and disassembly of structures involves energy transformation and flow. Take two atoms. Each atom can, for example, contribute and share one of its electrons with the other atom. This establishes a bond through the association of this pair of electrons, one from each parent atom. And it lowers the net energy compared to when both atoms were separated because the two shared electrons find themselves less constrained with the luxury of shared space to spread across. The excess energy produces molecular vibrations, sometimes radiating away as photons of light or being passed along to other jostling molecules. But it's not just energy that flows. The informational content and capacity also evolves. An individual atom, in its electrically neutral and fully relaxed state, can only store data in their internal magnetic properties, the so-called magnetic moment. But as soon as they bond, the molecules they form can rotate and vibrate. There are suddenly more degrees of freedom, more options for the behavior of this two-atom system, more surprise and more information storage. This increases exponentially with every atom added, and added in different structural forms. Every molecular structure unlocks a web of potential future interactions, a multitude of new possibilities, a greater potential variety in future patterns. The chance to create a complete and true model of a universe increases with every pattern and the growth of every pattern. There's a point I have already made that I want to stress again though. The lower net energy state and the resulting higher capacity to process data of a molecule compared to the atoms alone isn't reached simply by being neighbors, not even by simply interacting. The atoms must bond. The bonding mechanism is shared custody of two electrons. Each one had one of the atoms formerly regarded as theirs alone. I choose this example of covalent bonding, as it is called in chemistry, because this mechanism got recycled for the bonding of molecular structures we recognize as humans, but also other animals. We bond by mirroring what is shared custody of data used to generate ourselves. The cells overlap and thus have more room to spread across, what means less stress for the individual and excess energy to vibe and share with the surroundings. Now, The self is our own creation. But these creations of our mind, like space and time as well, are a way of making sense of patterns we perceive, but perceive only with our limited senses and those can't grasp completely. They are fact-based and not pure fantasy, so it is more likely than not that a factual overlap of a molecular structure, something parallel to shared electrons of atoms, exists in the physical universe. And this has consequences for how we need to understand ourselves and the directions of freedoms. But that's for tomorrow. For now, remember that this complete and true model of the universe doesn't generate itself. So explore, also known as think. Make a habit out of thinking. Let's turn thinking into the norm again. Like, comment, share and follow lest you miss a single opportunity to improve yourself and society. Once you do, we'll meet again at the coffee pot.